Welcome to the Bible Forum. I'm Warren Sprouse. This is Sunday night, and so it's time for the Bible Forum again. We do this each and every Sunday night at 8 p.m. Eastern. We have a weekly review of the world events in light of the Bible. We look at life, politics, religion, and Bible doctrine through a biblical lens. The Bible Forum is made available by the free will offerings of viewers. The Bible Forum is a ministry of alternatives, biblical counseling and education. Alternatives is a 501c3 nonprofit corporation. All contributions are tax exempt. Receipts are sent immediately. For a $50 a month commitment, you can receive a Bible Forum polo shirt, black or gray. Specify the size and whether it's for a man or a woman. You can use PayPal. You can send a check. See the website for details, thebibleforum.net. We're going to be looking at world events. What in the world has happened this last week while we weren't paying a whole lot of attention? Well, over in Iran, we know it biblically as ancient Persia. We have the enemy of God, the enemy of Israel, the enemy of Christianity, and a major player in the Great Tribulation scenario in the Bible, but the book of Revelation at the end of the New Testament, the book of Daniel, Ezekiel, there's other passages mounting up against Israel. Now, this same Persia is the country that a former president got us into bed with, set up a deal so that they could get a whole lot of money and they could turn around and spend that money. They spend some of it buying Boeing aircraft to help the local economy here in Charleston, South Carolina. But the deal that President Obama made with Iran, the liberal European countries went along with. But now it is clear that Iran is using that money to ramp up its nuclear arsenal. And President Trump wants Europe to reopen the deal. They say that's impossible. But our president says if that's impossible, then we'll just pull out. And Iran is threatening dire consequences should this treaty die. So what does all that mean? Well, it at least means more trouble for the Mideast and for Israel. Beyond that, probably not a whole lot. Well, except Russia and China are on Iran's side, and Iran has threatened to quit the treaty on the non-proliferation of nuclear weapons. On a state TV broadcast just last Tuesday, President Rouhani said, if someone wants to betray our religion and the deal, grave consequences will affect them. On Monday, Russian Foreign Minister Sergei Lavrov said that he had agreed with his Chinese counterparts that the two countries should, quote, obstruct, end of quote, any attempt by Trump to sabotage the nuclear deal with Iran. On that global front, we just need to stay tuned. We have North Korea. North Korea is now willing to talk to us. The president of North Korea, dictator, and the president of South Korea made nice this week. And we wonder, is this man serious? Are these talks going to go through? Is their nuclear capacity going to be diminished? What's really happening here? You can't trust communists. We know that. Well, the reports out of North Korea indicate that the mountain that North Korea was using to test their rockets and so forth has been seriously weakened. The atmosphere in and around that mountain has been contaminated, and there apparently have been earthquakes. And scientists believe, both North Korean and Chinese, that these effects are all part of the intense testing of rockets by North Korea. A North Korean geologist visited China recently. And then Kim Jong-un visited China after that. And after that, the Hermit Kingdom announced it would cease testing. Of course, the United States has plans for, quote, securing the North Korean nuclear sites if need be. But now North Korea is making nice with South Korea agreeing to end the Korean War. Now, if you're not as old as I am, you didn't probably think that war was still going on. But we've only had a ceasefire. Never had a cessation, never had a peace treaty here, never stopped it. North Korea had every right to jump right back in and start shooting again. And now also they are welcoming a U.S. president. Nobody would have guessed any of this a year ago. We've learned recently our own U.S. Navy has a new warship. And that warship, which has been in design and testing for the last 8 years, has officially joined the fleet. They've gone through the development stage, they've gone through the testing stage, and they've even named this vehicle. They're calling it as the Sea Hunter. And they say it's ready for deployment. A company by the name of Vigor Works, a firm known for stealthy experimental watercraft, has been awarded a $35.5 million Navy contract to build a second hull for this class of warships. These warships will operate at a cost 1/5 that of a destroyer. This is a drone ship. It has no people on it. It operates at speeds in excess of 30 miles per hour, 27 knots. It costs less than 1/30 of the cost of a destroyer to build. Did I mention it has no crew? There are no costs associated with people. The expectation is that they will be used to patrol global hotspots. They're looking for submarines, detecting other ships, torpedoes, missiles, or anything else the Navy needs done. Currently, this ship is not armed, but it could be. It has the capacity for what's called a 6-pack or a 4-pack of missiles, and the ability to do whatever the Navy needs done. Former Defense Secretary Robert Work said, "Imagine 50 of these distributed and operating together under the hands of a flotilla commander. Operating in the Persian Gulf, in the South China Sea, the Mediterranean, or anywhere there's a need." Initially, it's being described as a seagoing pickup truck. But that'll change. Work described the bow of his ship looking as though it were a Klingon bird of prey. And nearly every element of this ship is classified. In recent years, China has conducted dozens of military exercises as a warning to Taiwan over increasing efforts from independence leaders to declare full independence from China. Beijing still claims the island is part of China's territory and sees it solely as a breakaway province that will soon come back under their control. China is also building islands in the South China Sea between the Philippine island Luzon and the South China coast, right in the middle of the only sea lane moving north and south through the straits between Taiwan and China. Last December, Chinese Embassy Minister Li Kexin even warned Taiwanese officials that Beijing would use military force over plans to allow U.S. Navy ships into its ports as a violation of the country's anti-secession law. China recently expressed its anger over the passing of the Taiwan Travel Act through the U.S. Congress, which allows high-level diplomatic engagement between Taiwanese and American officials, as well as unrestricted travel between the two countries. Last month, China's foreign minister said, quote, "If it is passed and put into effect, it will cause serious disturbances to Sino-U.S. relations and the situation in the Taiwan Strait. The One China principle is still the political basis of Sino-U.S. relations. These are some of the things that have been going on while you were busy doing other things. We're going to come back and take a look at the social issues that have crafted our society in the last week or so, right after this. Stay tuned.